And welcome back into Woodward Sports, another edition of the Smoke Show here on the Woodward Sports Network. Usual suspects are here. Mike Ivesel on the far side of the table, who is busy working right now. We'll tell you why in a moment. And, of course, the man, the myth, the legend, he's a chef, he's a butcher. He owns the butchery on Orchard Lake Road in Sylvan Lake / Kego Harbor, Dave Hubbard. What's up, boys?
How's it going?
Good. Fantastic. Glad that you could be here. This is a special day today. Dave, I'm going to let you tell everybody it's Ribeye Day.
The absolute best steak on all the glorious cow, the ribeye, the rib. We're going to talk about the whole thing. So, I mean, we've got everything from the cap on the outside, the spinalis, to right into the center, the eye of the ribeye with us today. We have everything from wet age to dry age. So we'll talk about the aging process again. Mike's got the smokeless grill rocking. We have a Tomahawk going over there. Yep. And we're going to talk about, what else are we going to talk about?
How unbelievably delicious that this is going to be. I'm like salivating. I've been setting up and drying off some steaks and seasoning some steaks, and I smell like a steak, and it's the most wonderful thing I've had in a while.
Let me explain something out there to the people if you have not had a ribeye yet. Again, it's one of those things. I understand some people may be on a budget, okay? If you have a little extra coin to throw out there, invest in a ribeye. You're going to have to take my word for it. There is, in the middle of the meat, you get a little, honestly, Dave, the best way that I could describe it, you can speak to it better than I can. It's a little something for everybody in the middle of that meat. It really is. There's like different meat in there, and it's like, ooh, if you're more of a ribeye, you got that. If you're more of the lean, you got that. That was my take on the ribeye every time I've done it.
That's a great way to approach it. Let me grab this ribeye, this Tomahawk. Same thing. It's just a ribeye. So this is the full rib, right? So you got the whole bone, comes all the way back here. And this has what Mike likes to refer to. What is this bone as a full rack, Mike?
That is going to be, when you chop it off, it's going to be beef ribs.
Exactly, beef ribs.
God, yes.
So that's the beef back rib that we pull off, and we let slow and low and cook that thing forever. But as you see the center of this, it has this outside here is the cap that you're referring to. This here is for more of our advanced eaters, right? This is the most flavorful piece of meat on the whole cow, by far, bar none, no matter what grade you get. The ribeye cap, the spinalis, if you referred to as, if you get this, cook this correctly, this should be pound for pound, probably the most expensive piece of meat as it's separated off, as I did here, separated off.
Look at that.
And tied it up, rolled it. And then you have the center, which is a little more lean, that Sean was talking about. So if you're a New York person, but this ribeye is going to have a little more flavor coming off of this bone and a little more flavor coming off that fat cap that's in there. So that center, that lean piece, is going to have a little more flavor than, say, in New York. It's going to be just as lean, but it's going to have that a little more flavor. And then you have the bone-in ribeye, or a regular cut that doesn't have the full bone. And we have some of those as well. So it's just a shorter bone, same piece of meat with a shorter bone. I like the bone on mine for two different reasons. One, it holds together that steak when you're cooking it pretty well, which is a great thing because you have that fat cap. Sometimes it can get a little loose or want to separate, like when you sous vide it. You know, you cook it a little bit already and it kind of wants to pull apart. But that bone kind of helps it stay together. And two, I don't care what anybody says, you're getting flavor off that bone all day long. The charring of that bone and the heat that transfers through the bone lends itself to bringing more flavor inside the meat. So that's the idea of having a piece of meat that's still on the bone. Everybody said, why don't you just get a New York strip or a boneless ribeye? You can have those things. The bone is going to add a little bit more flavor for you.
And
Definitely.
it's fun to chase people around with. Let's be honest here.
So we're going to save this one
We've
here.
done it. I'm not going to lie. We've chased each other around like that. We just have.
So we have two different processes on our ribeyes that we have today. We have some that are wet aged, like this bad boy was wet aged. And so what wet age means is it's coming a subprimal. So say the whole ribeye, boneless or bone-in, lip-on or export, if you will, proper terms. Those pieces come in a cryovac or a seal-vac wrap, if you will, and it eliminates all the air. So you want to keep the air out, and it keeps in all the moisture of the steak, and that's what's called wet age. So it's aging in its own blood, its own wetness that's kind of leaching out of that package or out of the meat into the package while it's sealed. And then you have dry age, which is the opposite, right? We're not in a package. We're usually in a cooler, like we talk about in a cooler or in a case that has usually some Himalayan salt or some kind of salt that will really pull away. You want to pull the moisture out of the meat, which is the dry aging process, and it pulls it to the outside that gets funky. And then we shave all that funky stuff out of the outside, and then we have that nice, intense beef flavored center that's left when it's dry aged. So we have, and the longer you wet age, not necessarily better. The longer you dry age, it usually does get better.
Yes. Yep.
Wet age, you go 28 to 35 days. You don't really want to go much longer because it starts to get a little bit of sourness because the enzymes are still active, if you will, because they're moist. We're not dry aging. You're pulling a lot of those enzymes and stuff out of the meat, so you're leaving just a natural piece of meat. So it doesn't the mold and everything and all the funk forms on the outside. Wet aging, it starts to want to form on the inside and stuff. It gets more slimy. So 28 to 35 days on the wet age, and you're good to go. Your money. You know, you talked about the wet age sirloin steak, I believe it was. You were like, man, this is unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
The wet age filet was like, man, next level. Dry aging is not necessarily a more tender steak. It's a different texture type steak, as how I like to put it, as far as mouthfeel, right? Wet age, dry age. They're both very tender. One is going to give you more beef forward flavor, and the other is going to give you a more of a what you're used to, quite frankly, and that's like steak flavor. And what I mean by more intense beef flavor in the dry age is more earthy, more strong, deeper. If you're a wine or a beer person, you know, that darker beer gives you a little more oakier body. You're going to get that from the dry aged meat. The wet age, you're just going to get more true. It's just wet beef blood, right? So, but it's tenderizing.
One of
in
the
that
coolest
process.
things that I've seen you do, and I mean this, is a few months ago. Gosh, it was I think it was like late November or early December. Mike, do you remember you and I were at the butchery one day, and Dave called us in the back, and he had a customer that wanted a bunch of dry aged steaks. And Dave, watching you chisel the side off of that steak was fascinating to me.
It's definitely a process because so you have, and then there you go again, another factions inside. The folks that like dry aged meat, they love that flavor. They like that funkiness, if you will. They like what comes out of it. It's almost like you're taking beef and making it gamey when normally it isn't. One of the things that you get from that is all that funk on the outside that you talk about. Some folks are very extreme. They want you to leave a lot of that on there, and they want to taste it, and they like that. Some like it shaved off and ground up into a nice burger, which I found turns out really well. You put that with some nice dry sirloin or lean sirloin, and that fat, that funky fat in there, amazing flavor. Yeah, go for it. Yep, we're going to sear as many as we can, and we'll get Sean some lunch here. No, so... But yeah, just the timing process. I lost my train of thought. So you were saying go ahead.
About how you were shaving off.
Yeah,
you were
gotcha.
shaving
Sorry,
off the
sorry.
side. No, it's
so,
all right.
So some like it. I like it really cleaned off. So I take all that funk off of there and I use it in my, like I said, a ground beef or something, and leave me with that steak. But yeah, it's definitely it's an art. I definitely say that I have hacked up more than my share of expensive pieces of meat, shaving off the dry age parts of it. Only to learn, years later that it's really not that bad, right? So, I was afraid like, oh, this is a little funky. Why am I, leaving it on here? But honestly, it's kind of come down to try to get as much of the funk off and leave as much of the meat there. So yeah, it's just taking your time.
Yeah. So what do we got on there right now? Just to let everybody know, Mike's been busy. I've seen him with some rub over there and everything. I know we've got a tomahawk on there, and then Mike, you put a couple other things on there. What do we got going on?
Well, I'm going to take a nice guess. We have a bone-in ribeye over here, and then on the inside of it, I think is what Dave said. He cut the cap off and rolled it. Is that what you
got
did?
It. So we have the spinalis that's cut off the top there, that cap, and then we roll it up and then tie it, and it's a long tube, and then we cut it into steaks, and then you got that. We sous vide everything to 129 degrees, so all this meat is cooked to a nice medium rare. And then all we're doing with the smokeless grill, like we always do, is just put some color on it, sear it a little bit, and then we'll be eating some steak here in a second. I did a couple different things with the dry and the wet age. Over here I have this is the center, or they call it the ribeye fillet. So that's that center lean piece that's inside there. That there is going to be eat more like in New York, right? So it's a little leaner, but it's going to have that texture and that tender fillet thing going on. That's really nice. And then again, we got another bone in, and then the straight boneless ribeye. This is that cap that I'm talking about. That
Yeah.
thing up
Yeah,
here.
yeah,
It's got
yeah,
all
yeah.
the fat and the marble in
Delicious.
there. Oh my gosh, it's
Absolutely.
unreal. That there is where it's at. So that's cooked to a nice medium rare. Looks
I've
really
also
good on there.
said this
You wanna
before.
use your chef finger? I
Dave
think it
has
might be
this
ready.
innate
Yeah.
ability to tell us when a steak is done just by looking at it. And I hear Mike wondering aloud about the tomahawk. So let's find this out and see how good Mike's eye is. How good's Mike's eye, Dave?
It's ready to rock. We just want to get a little sear on the outer side where they have that fat, the cap side.
Sure.
So just flip it over and sear it on the what I like to call the third side.
Congratulations, Mike.
I know. Thank you.
Way to
So you
go.
want, yeah, go ahead, season up a boneless
I'm-
ribeye there. That one there is a dry aged. This here is a 45-day dry aged ribeye that I got from down Fairway Packing downtown. Some really nice
Ooh,
stuff.
Fairway. I know
Yeah, yeah.
those guys I know. I think those are the guys I know.
Possibly.
Grosse Pointe
Beretta
hockey.
boys.
Yeah, the Berettas. Yeah, absolutely. I know the Berettas.
Ooh,
Good people. Very good humans.
look at that.
Look at this.
Would you look at that? Can you hold that up for everybody? Or do I have to grab the towel to grab the bone?
No.
You hold it up for everybody.
Grab it.
Look at that.
That there
Look
is.
at that.
Yeah. Are you a man? I'm
Look
a man.
at that. Seriously. Can I just start eating
There's
it?
something like very tribal about
I-
that.
We've
Can
got
I just-
Godzilla's the king of monsters. Is that the king of steaks?
I give nobody nothing. I'm just sitting there eating it.
But that thing right there. So I'll slice that up and let you take a try of it. Tell me what you think.
All right. That sounds good. This is one of those shows, too, where people are lurking. Like some of the shows that we do, you have a couple people lurking. Today we have a bunch of... Even Gracie is lurking. Gracie, who works here, she's like, you guys get paid to do this? Yes! Yes, we do! Oh, isn't that beautiful? Look at that. Oh, my goodness gracious. Is there any steak on there, Dave, you think I could, find?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
you
oh,
could.
yeah.
You
dog-
could.
Take that home to the dogs. They'll love it. Yeah, there we go. Nice cross section of lean and fatty, if you will.
Look at that.
Almost like a brisket. It's got some heat. That's nice and
Yeah,
seared.
it is. Dave, it's
Seared.
really, there's a
how's
little
that
bit
color?
of a
I
jiggle
can't
there.
see from here.
There's a little bit of a jiggle there.
I gotta grab a clean plate because I've got the seasoning plate. Let me get a clean one here. Now, have we
And then there's-
mentioned that?
I broke it up for you, Mike. I get you
have we-
some of
have
the lean
we-
and some of the cap.
Have we mentioned that we're doing this in front of a live studio audience?
Well, yeah, we have our biggest fan is here. And
Our only fan.
yes,
J.
yes.
Ralph.
Our fan group, J Ralph.
Mm-hmm.
You know him as J Ralph on Twitter. So I'm gonna send some of this over to you, Jim.
And that's cooked perfectly, by the way. Thank you.
Good job, Chef Mike.
Wow. Dude, I had to get some of your zip. I love your zip.
Then I did some mushrooms and some onions, garnish for a nice steak dinner.
Accoutrement?
Accoutrement, Mike.
Accoutrement, I love that word. Love it. I actually looked it up and spelled it correctly.
Stick is here too, so we might have to find a little bit for stick. That's just a guess.
Here we go.
I always take care of my
A
guy.
little bit for stick.
Oh yeah, I'll take care of him. We're gonna cut that fat cap out of there. Look at this.
Oh my goodness,
This will be
Dave.
pretty good.
Look at that. Look at that piece.
Good stuff. And I'll start cutting that other one, that dry age. We'll see how that turned out. That's some cap there.
Joint
I'll
Bell's
cut-
going to be coming back to our team soon. He told me.
Yeah,
might
I
be
heard,
November,
I heard
right,
that
Joy?
he was.
he's gonna want some meat one day.
Well, he was talking about what was going to be the first adventure. I was listening to the
Maybe
show.
we get some of that A5 because that Wagyu is changing people's minds about meat.
Oh.
Let me give a little to stick now. Do we have a little for stick? I had to give some to Corey with a K.
Let's go to the next steak here. We got that dry age. Look
We'll
at that
get to
bad
the
boy.
next steak.
We got
The next one.
rocking that ribeye infomercial here. And the next
Yeah, I
one.
know this is definitely an infomercial for ribeye.
Oh yeah, that's nice there. Good job, Mike.
You got it again?
Oh yeah.
All right.
You know what's funny? Terry Foster told me that a majority of, in
Pass
his
that over to
word,
Stick.
brothers do not like the medium rare cook. They like it medium well to well.
Yeah, I mean,
That's what Terry told me.
I don't know. Maybe that's his friends.
Joy, Corey, how do you guys like your steak?
I know Corey will eat a medium rare, medium. I think he's.
I'm medium rare.
Yeah.
There you go. So he's come
Well,
up on it.
Joyke, how did you like it when you were eating steak?
Medium plus.
Okay.
Okay.
That's medium well
fair.
in a steakhouse.
Huh?
Medium plus. That's a bougie way
Medium
of
plus
saying
is
medium
good.
well.
No, it's like, so I would get like, because you don't want a medium well, but you don't.
Yeah,
want
it's a little too
medium.
dry.
Gotcha.
Medium, a little too. Yeah, I
So
got
you like a little
honestly.
color in there.
Yeah. Very little pink
Like
in the
pink
middle, in
the
the
middle?
center. But it's a dry pink center, not a wet, right? Yeah. We like that in a different area.
Hey,
Dave, this was Dave. This,
Thank you.
I'm going to tell you what.
This guy's nasty.
You were thinking it.
I'm slick, bro.
Dave, this is sell it in a restaurant and make a shitload of money.
Yeah,
It's
you know,
good. It really is.
If ever I wasn't, no, I was a steakhouse guy.
Yeah.
But I was a steakhouse guy. If ever I did open a restaurant, it'd be something selling steak, and this is definitely these tomahawks are money. And I think if I did have a steakhouse now, after taking this practice and learning this sous vide, man, I'm telling you, every steak that came out of my restaurant would be sous vide. Mm-hmm. You don't have to worry about the temperature. You get nice, color and texture on it.
I'm not so good on those.
This ribeye cap. Let's see what we got going on here.
Look at that color. I mean, are you guys getting this color? Heck. Look at that color. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that beautiful?
Let me get another one.
Yes, sir.
They're all.
Now, did you cut that dry age?
Yeah, I got a dry age for you right here. So let me get you a slice of that. Sean, did you try this one yet? I don't think so.
That's one of my favorite steaks.
You had the tomahawk. Now we'll try the bone and ribeye. This was the 45-day dry age from Fairway.
Right.
And
So
then-
Sean, wet or dry, babe? What do you
Dry.
like? You like it dry.
I did.
Even
It's a
though
little more-
even though the wet fillet, the 900,000 day wet fillet was your favorite.
No, the dry was.
Oh, it's the
That was the dry.
All right,
The
all right.
2,388 day dry was my favorite.
Because according to Dave,
Until the steak he made a couple weeks ago.
you
That-
don't want to go over 28 with the wet, is what you're saying. All right, I got you.
So we can get some more of these ribeye caps on there if you want. Go ahead. I'll take that.
You hungry, Art?
the boneless. That one there is a 45-day dry age boneless ribeye.
Do you have a little paper plate?
That looks really nice.
Here, give me that plate. I'm gonna help my friend Art right now.
You guys want these photos, let me know.
Oh yeah, this is a nice steak right here.
What do we got there?
This is the boneless dry aged.
Boneless dry age?
Yeah. This one is gonna have. You can even smell it. This one is the gamiest. This is
It
the
is.
gamiest. It's the dry aged because. So what happens is you don't have all the bone on the outside, right? So to kind of protect it while it's aging, so that boneless one, the funk and all that's growing right on that boneless piece of meat or right on the meat. So you shave it off, but you're getting a little more of the funk. You can really smell
Yeah,
it. like-
you know what's interesting though? It isn't as
that's
strong
the bone,
like
yeah.
we've done lamb before.
Yeah.
And there's a fine line with lamb. If you go above medium rare, there's no other way to say it. It just goes gamey. It really does. It goes gamey. I would categorize this as gamey, but not too gamey. Does that make sense? Am I making sense at all?
100%. It doesn't. It's more. This is more in the sense than it is in the palate, right? So it's more on the nose than it is on the tongue. The lamb is more on the tongue than it is on the nose. Maybe that's a different way of explaining it, but
So that's this one right here. This is the dry age.
no, here.
Have I ever mentioned Dave's zip sauce? Dave makes his own zip sauce. You can go to the butchery and get it.
The 5-ingredient winner
I
right there.
highly suggest it. If you like zip sauce, I highly suggest it. There are different ways to make zip sauce. Dave has a little bit of an Asian, not strong, but there's an Asian flair to his zip sauce.
Yeah, most
but
definitely.
it works.
It's not strong. You know it's there though. That's the
yeah,
first thing
it's
you
there.
said.
There's no doubt about that.
So let's see how this ribeye cap turned out. This here should be beef flavor on the next level. And if I'm lying, I'm dying. I'm gonna put my name on this one here, Mikey.
Uh-oh.
All right.
The moment of truth. Here we go.
It's more on the rare side, but I think you'll enjoy it. Sean.
Okay.
We have a little bit more rare.
It's on the rare
It's
side,
that
but
thick, it's that
yeah.
thick one. That's what I was saying. I couldn't really I couldn't really judge it.
That's okay.
Oh, it's that good.
Look at this.
What do we got?
Look at that.
Now this is the ribeye cap, that spinalis. This should be real buttery because the marbling in that is really tight and fat, you
Melting.
know. And it should be like that. It should be the American version or the USDA Prime version of that Wagyu, right? You know, a lot of marbling.
It's not
Dense
exactly,
marbling,
but that's exactly what
it
will
has
come to
the
my mind.
melt aspect
The
of
same
it.
kind of feel. Yeah,
it's
mouth-
got the
yeah.
melt aspect.
Whoa.
Yep.
That one came up.
Good flavor in that, huh?
Boy, that's a good flavor. And you say you take some of that outside and you put it like in burger and all that?
So some of that shaving on the dry age, that stuff,
Yeah.
yeah, oh yeah. As long as it's not super funky, it's going in. It's getting hooked up. It's getting ground up. It's going in that burger. Dry aged burgers are like, they're really, really good. It's because you don't have to put a bunch of stuff on them. You know, we're driving over with our biggest fan, and he says, "Man, you really ruined it for me with those bacon burgers. I can't eat a regular burger anymore." I think I might be able to rival that really close with something different with a dry aged burger. You might really like it. It's pretty interesting. But again, those, you know, Sean, is the Mike especially, the 3B burger has its own cult following. Maybe we can do some dry aged burgers and they'll catch a following.
My family's the same way. It's like, nope, when we want burgers, you're going out to Orchard Lake.
Yep. It's 3B burgers. It's the short ribs. Nailed it. And it's the Duroc ribs. The
those ribs are so
specifics
good.
of what Davy Hub has introduced us and opened up our palates to is a fan favorite at my house.
Dave, the one that we did where we put, you took some of that oh, is that good? The aged cheddar, and we
Oh, yeah.
put some of the jalapenos in there. That was unbelievable.
That was one of the
That
funner
was
days we've
that
had
was
that
unbelievable. Like literally, we went and bacon brisket burger. Dave has a great blend that he puts together, and then he said, "Let's have some fun." And I grabbed a block of aged smoked cheddar. I love
yeah.
the smoked
Good
flavor.
stuff.
I just do. And we grabbed some jalapenos and we mixed it all up. And I'll tell you what, it made for just an incredible burger. And then I made a bunch more and put them in my freezer, quite frankly, because they were that good. They were really that good.
So that's kind of some of the things I think we'll be doing this summer. We'll change it up a little bit. We're going to switch up some stuff. We're going to try some new new sausage blends, some new sausage flavors. I'm going to really work on that Cajun sausage that Mike is talking about, and some. I also want to do this. I've been watching and seeing this cheddar brisket sausage a lot on Twitter. And these guys are taking like smoked brisket and they're making the sausage out of it. And I'm like,
Yes,
well, I think I'm
please.
gonna have to try this. So, yeah, I think we'll be in the sausage test kitchen, if you will, before long, doing some sausage and burger blends.
It's been a while since we did that. Remember, we tried to put a chicken wing sausage together.
Yeah, that's right.
We did a jerk sausage.
That is so true. Yeah,
And a couple other ones. But we had that one with that place that will remain anonymous, I will not name, that blew me off and did not want me as a customer, but I do love their sausage, that we have to replicate that sausage. And we'll name it something close, and you're going to sell the shit out of it, and I'm going to go back, and I'm going to flip them the double middle finger and run real fast.
As long as you got the sausage, you'll be fine.
But I'll tell you what.
I will.
Like, all jokes aside, that's the fun part of it. Is like, I was joking during
Yeah.
the end of Baligian and Bell. Mike and I are both two jerks. Well, literally and figuratively. We're jerks, but at the same time, we love jerk seasoning. And we've done so many different things jerky over the past few years. And this was a situation where we were like, we have to find a way. We have to find a way to put that in a sausage. And we do. We do. We really need to find a way.
We'll jerk one. we'll jerk some sausage. What?
Hey, you can beat our meat. You can't beat our meat. You can jerk our sauce, our chicken, you know? So we can do those things. But let's see. Now, here's that ribeye fillet, if you were, the center, just as the center, Sean. This should be like, eat
gonna
more
have
like a
no
New York
finger
strip,
stuff.
right? A little leaner, like a sirloin end, but should also be kind of soft and flavorful, like a classic traditional ribeye.
Thank you.
All right, this one's stiffening up, Chuck.
I'm gonna eat that separate.
Yeah, that's a nice aged
Feel that
bone-in
your
ribeye.
finger, feel that. I'm losing the feeling in my fingers, but it felt like it was stiffening up.
You're fine. Let's go here.
A
We're
little
gonna
bit more?
render some of the fat. That's all.
Okay.
Gonna let it sit up there.
By the way, we do have to mention our fine producer today, a gentleman named Fish. Fish and his father went in and got some of that A5 last week. Did they not,
did?
Dave? Mr.
Sorry, we were throwing steaks on the grill
Mr.
there.
Fish and Sunfish went in and got some of that A5
I love
last
it.
week.
Mr. Fish and Sunfish
It was
came
good.
in, and the celebrity that
You guys
he is
did a
when
great job.
You liked it?
It was good. Yes, you guys did a
Awesome.
great job.
How did you cook it?
Well, I didn't cook. My parents cooked.
You knew that was
They
coming.
they just seared it.
Seared it?
Yep.
Awesome. Your dad's a really nice guy. You know, Fish walks in and I yell Fish from the cut room all the way across the store like I did last time. And I swear, everybody in the store that doesn't necessarily know what's going on, they all look like what's going on. And he's the celebrity.
He
Comes
is.
in
Rock
and I'm
star,
like, this is
baby.
our guy right here. I love it. So I'm really glad that he was able to come in and get some of that. We got another hunk of A5 New York strip in this week. So we seem to be the only place in Michigan that's cutting to order whatever size A5 Japanese Wagyu steaks that you like. We got dry aged, cut into order, wet aged. Everything else is USDA Prime. So I mean, the best of the best, and we're always there waiting for those barbecue folks that want to get out there and get on the grill. I gotta say this: we got tricked. I think it's about a month ago, and I was like, you know, we're teasing Mike about his ice rink and stuff coming out of winter, and I was like, man, I think we got over the hump of this weather. I was so excited about. Man, we had crappy weather the last couple weeks, and now I'm going to say it. It's my fault if not, but I really think this week we might have turned the corner. And we're going to come into that barbecue season where nice and cool, you know, in the evening, not so hot still, and during the day it's still warm enough that you can throw down on some barbecue or do like Sean, you know, sit there, enjoy Father's Day, barbecuing for one. I agree with you. You know, 100%. That rant was great. Dads on Father's Day, yeah, we would. I love my kids.
It's not about us.
I love my kids,
Yeah.
but their days are their days. If it's Father's Day, let me just cook something and stay over here.
And it's fine. It's like,
I'll cook enough for everybody, but let me, you know, do my own
yeah.
thing.
I mean, it's what threw me off last year. Is my tradition
That's my
is
house.
the final round of the U.S. Open is Father's Day.
Oh, yeah, totally.
And that threw me off last year. And that's all I say. If you want to do something, you know, I'm gonna do the grilling. I'll cook. Get me a 6-pack of beer, and just let me watch the U.S. Open. And when the weather's nice, I'll have it out on the deck, the screened-in deck. Watch it. People want to stop over, enjoy the barbecue. But that's what Father's Day is,
Yeah.
right? It's none of that.
Yep.
And what goes better with, you know, barbecue than beer anyway?
Dave, I've always. This is just. I don't think we've ever had this conversation. Do you know what each one represent to me? All right, so let me give you an example. You know what the 4th of July is? The 4th of July to me is hot dogs, burgers, maybe some ribs or chicken, right? That's what the
Almost
4th
like
of July
Americana
is.
barbecue.
Yeah,
Basic
that's what
I'm with you.
Americana.
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah.
Do you know
I got
what
it. Okay.
Memorial Day is to me? Steaks.
Steaks.
It's
Yeah,
always
yeah, yeah.
been steaks. Memorial Day is steaks. I'll get, even when we were younger, let's go buy the $3.50 you know, flank steak, and we're living high because we're eating that flank
That
steak.
London broil,
But
yeah, yeah.
but honest to God, for me, Dave, that's what Memorial Day is, and I don't
love
know if
it.
you're the same way, but like Memorial Day is like okay, you know, who's coming over today? All right, we have 20 people coming. Well, here's the first batch of steaks that I got from
Yep.
Dave. Here's the second batch. And this is my private stock. This is for my favorites, the best of the best. And yours truly. But that's the kind of stuff that I do. So to your point, absolutely. I mean, grilling season is here. I don't think we're going to go back to 50 degrees now that it's May 12th and everything. And get ready because Memorial Day's coming up. And to me, Memorial Day's always been steak.
My biggest excitement about the weather change is I want to get that garden planted. I know it sounds great. I really do. I want to get the garden planted. I want to have to not worry about that anymore, you know, kind of have it going and doing its thing. So I can get to the grill and not worry about the honey-do list, if you will. Like, I end up being the one that has to, you know, tend the garden, but my wife is the one that wants the garden. So I figure if I get the garden done and out of the way and rolling, I'll have all the time I want to be cooking and drinking beer and chasing the kids around the yard.
I just want to be out on my grill and not get snowed on.
Not get snowed on. That's a good one.
That's what I'm ready for.
Well, Mike and I both have, kind of back porches screened in and everything, and our grills are strategically placed, like right outside the door of our screened-in porches, and I keep my smoker kind of below the deck and everything, and it works out well. Works out very well.
Yeah, I mean,
But that last piece you gave me,
once
Dave,
I
wow.
once
It's
I
just my
declare
house,
winter
isn't it?
done,
This
I
stuff
take
is-
it out from the screen deck, out from underneath the roof, and I put it out on the regular deck. I don't want snow.
No,
No more snow.
I think that's
rain.
a-
Rain's fine. Rain I get. Rain
you're not
happens.
asking for much.
No.
So
Oh.
we have a small little special event coming up. Not really a special event, but we're doing we're having a little gathering at the store, sandwiches on the 22nd of May. So we're
Boom.
gonna do I'll throw together something. I don't know if you guys have any input. We'll do some fun sandwich or something. I'll do a smoke show sandwich or something
Okay.
that day.
Oh.
But if you come out to the store, we'll be having
Lots of tongue.
a lot of fun making sandwiches, and maybe we'll put a smoker out front and stuff. But yeah, we'll have some good time out there.
So
and,
it's Saturday the 22nd?
yeah, kind of toasting.
I'm trying to get out there. I don't have
the
anything going on that
season,
day.
if you will.
I
So this
think.
might be fun. Yeah, maybe we can get up there and talk to the people in the pop-up space or
I'd
something.
love
We'll do something.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll show them how we
Mike,
cook
can
our
you go
ribs
that
or
day?
something. I think Mike's checking his calendar as we speak.
I can do something.
Look at that.
I can do a little something.
We'll
Something.
figure something out.
Yeah, we'll figure
that?
something
Yeah.
out. Absolutely.
We'll figure something
It's
out.
our president of our fan club as well as our only fan, right? J.
We
Ralph
got
is
to
like,
get him on payroll. We
Thi-
have to get
this
J.
guy,
Ralph on
yeah.
payroll. He helps us out so much. Seriously, appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for all the
I think my pay.
from the
Smart man.
follows.
He
the
enjoys the
retweets.
barbecue, yeah.
I mean, he's even doing it. I mean, every day I wake up and there's 10 retweets of Woodward Sports and everything you guys do here.
Oh, thank
that
you.
he's doing. He's a fan of everything Woodward, and we're part of Woodward, and we appreciate it.
So
Yeah,
before-
I've been on a little Twitter vacation lately. I'll be back soon.
You're fine.
Well, it's
I'll be
fine
back
enough.
soon.
It
We're all
happens.
waiting on you.
It happens every so often. You have to.
Yeah.
You just absolutely have to.
So
Yeah.
before we wrap it up there, what do you have any requests for next week's show, or what do you kind of leave it up in the air? 'Cause we've done, I mean, there's a lot of different, whatever we can focus in on, whatever you like to do.
What are you missing that we haven't done yet, Jay? What do you,
You guys have touched everything pretty good. You know,
We
that
didn't-
sausage thing's exciting. You were saying Cajun, talking like boudin.
So maybe some other kind of flavors, maybe our own unique flavors, not necessarily a specific type, but yeah, we could do something like that. We did sausage not too long ago. What if we
Mike and I did one. It was funny. Mike, do you remember when we talked about the glories of hot dogs? And like we did Smokies, and we did, just a couple of regular
Ooh, I like that.
sausages and everything.
you walked right into something too.
What's that?
Barb Ivisol, a big fan of the show,
Hi, Barb.
phoned in from Florida, from comfy Florida,
Yeah.
and said, "Michael, I got a question for Dave.
oh boy,
I see Wagyu hot dogs at the Amish market. What the hell is that?" And I said, I'll ask Dave. I know we've had Snake River Farms hot
Good.
dogs.
the Wagyu
But
hot
my
dogs,
mom
it's hot
wants a
dogs made-
Wagyu hot dog. And she says, you know what? I'm going to go down there and I'm going to investigate. I'm going to ask them questions.
I gotta tell it's hot dog made from the Wagyu beef. Yeah, you know
Well, that's what we're
We
hoping
had
it
one
is,
over my
right?
house a
Well,
couple
yeah,
weeks
yeah,
ago.
yeah, we do this. We do the Snake River Farms hot dogs. Their Piedmontese has an all natural, all beef hot dog. Sounds like we're going to be doing a hot dog tasting next week.
All right, that
we
sounds
can bring
good
in
to
a bunch
me.
of hot dogs and do different things.
Underrated. The hot dog's underrated.
and
I don't
maybe
care
I'll throw in a
what anybody
sausage
says.
or two. Maybe a
what
sausage or
could-
two. And
what
we'll grill them
could-
right here. It'll be fun.
What could the young
There you
and
go.
lively Barb
Hot dogs.
Ivisol look for on the package that would make her feel comfortable that she's getting Wagyu? I mean, Amish can't lie, can they? Is that a thing? Like, they can't lie. So just, I guess, ask the Amish guy behind the counter. I mean, what is something she could look for a little...
I mean, it's not like you can go on the internet and see it, all right?
But does it have a... But does it like ours came with a birth certificate?
You know what? It's gonna be a company like Snake River Farms, or there's gonna be some kind of
Like it just,
marking on there that tells you where it's from.
where it's from, and
yeah,
then
on
she
the
can
back,
look
it'll
if,
say-
if,
yeah.
if there's a Wagyu
It'll say
cow
Japan.
there.
It'll say, or
Oh,
it'll say
absolutely.
American. It'll say Australian. A lot of Australian Wagyu that marbles out really well. It's really nice. Like some of the some of the Wagyu fillets I get Japanese. they don't marble out as nice, and they're very hard to get. So I might get an Australian Wagyu, which is it's just as good, but not as. You know, it's like
Yep.
the second. And then American Wagyu is right there too. But
Okay.
Same kind of thing. A little bit of fun.
All right.
Ready
So
for some
for
ribeye?
all
Oh,
your
yeah.
needs, make sure to check out our boy at the butchery on Orchard Lake Road in Sylvan Lake / Kego Harbor. Steak season is upon us. Come and check it out. Try the tomahawk. Try the wet age. Try the dry age. That's my personal jam. Mike, anything else before we get out of here?
No, I think we got it. I did get a piece of great news today.
What's that?
Pearl Jam's playing in California in September. They're
Guess
playing.
who's going to California?
They're playing in Ohana Fest the 25th and 26th of September on a beach in a little small place there. And I've been waiting, since March 18th when they canceled the Hamilton show to see it. So that's something new.
Guess who's going to California that weekend? I don't even have a great time, Mike. God bless you. Have a great time. All right, we're out of here. Thank you, most importantly, for checking us out. We'll see you next week here on The Smoke Show. Peace.
Thank you, Woodward.
All right.